Should we scream? Just kidding.
Should all jump at the same time.
Alright, let's see if everything's working.
No, but we definitely need to do the Brady Bunch thing. As we're all like, "Hi, Skyler." "Hi, Nate." You know,
The problem is that I think we're all set up kind of differently. At least in Skype.
We're live.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right.
Okay.
We went live as you guys laughed at my joke, but no one knows, and no one will ever know what that joke was.
No one will ever know.
The world will never know.
I don't have it up yet.
It's going for me, and it's
All right.
going pretty well. Yeah, it's good. Excellent.
So I guess if everyone's hopping on. Is everyone on roll 20? Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not. Whoops.
I
A slight detail. I forgot to click launch a game.
Okay. All right. Well, then, I don't think we have anyone watching, or at least it's not telling me there's anyone watching, but
There are a few
Well,
people
we're
watching.
watching.
you're watching. All right. Well, evening, everyone. We have a few announcements before we're going to start. Before we start, the first one is Into the Frying Pan will be next week again at 6 p.m. Nate, who plays Odo, will be on, and we'll be talking about some of the stuff that happened the past couple episodes. Also,
So, Nate, tell me, what is the show Into the Frying Pan?
to be found out.
again,
Soon.
we want to thank Nate for hosting the show, as well for doing all the kind of graphics and things. This didn't get recorded last time, so thank you, Nate, again, and now it will be on YouTube as well. Speaking of YouTube, if you miss an episode, please check out our YouTube page, Dice Orcs and Adventures, and you can catch up. You can follow us on there, and then you won't miss anything that happens. As well, you can always watch us live on Twitch Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on The Road Goes Ever On. The art is done by Apple Anzi from Sketchmob, and she did a great job. She's super fast, so if you're ever looking for character art, check her out. She does really good, realistic, or he. I actually don't know if it's a he or she. I'm sorry for assuming. But they did a great work on that, and it's really quick turnaround. Want to thank Nick Pybus for the theme song that we use for Dice Orcs and Adventurers, which we'll be playing during our intro video. As well, want to thank Olivia Phillips, my smoking hot wife, for making that video, as well as, wow, that's going to be on YouTube for all time, as well as...
I mean, Quill's face kind of explains it all, you know.
Right, as well as all the videos. So huge thanks to her for doing that. One big announcement: our goal is to have 50 followers by the end of March. So we're already at 29. We would love to be at 50 by the end of March. So if you know someone who loves role playing or Lord of the Rings or both, let them know about the show and tell them to follow us. There will be other shows coming as well, one of which is going to be the Lord of the Rings LCG, which will be 2 weeks on Saturday. So awesome game. There will be more information next week about that. And with that, our story will begin.
Is this where you want me to do the recap?
No, a video is going to play.
Oh, okay.
You guys probably won't hear it.
Only the dead have
But the
seen
chat
how it ends. What lays beyond the curtain of this world.
I'm going to pull it up right now to see.
So what does Critical Role do when this is happening? Like, are they just like...
Can they hear us?
The rule of Rune would be his in entirety. For ages uncounted, the men of Rune worshipped the Dark Lord. His power was undeniable, and his wrath was fearsome. Yet, for a short time, there was peace. One of the families of men still held to the ways of the Valar, and they ruled both those who worshipped Sauron as well as those who sought a simple life. But the Dark Lord would have no rival for loyalty, and his Easterlings were to remain a fighting force unparalleled by any man. Camul was gifted a ring of power, and his small country in Rhûn rose up with the followers of Sauron behind, allied with him, and overthrew the capital city of Romen, leaving it in ruins. Those who sought peace were scattered or killed, and Camul took the city of Midol Armen and united the east, making a new capital for Rhûn, Dol Grim. But scattering those who did not worship Sauron was not enough. Camul bid a boon of his commander to forever crush any seeking to rise against him, should the need arise for him to leave his new kingdom on behalf of his master. A curse to forever cripple the line of Halmen. The Dark Lord now rebuilds his forces. Though his plans in Mirkwood were thwarted by the White Council, Camul stayed to continue the work of the Necromancer. Rhûn now lies in the hands of those Camul has trusted most. Yet, in the midst of this darkness, prophecy spoken long ago starts to come to fruition. A chance to bring hope to a dying kingdom, and to allow the men of the East a freedom which they have never known. As the chessboard is set up, the first pieces start to move. This is the prelude to the war that will engulf all of Middle-earth.
Yeah, my other
All
D&D
right.
group.
They can hear us now.
Okay, well, there we are. We're back.
Okay, we are back. Increase the audio. All right, we will increase the audio next time. So with that, we will now have a short recap of what happened last times on Dice, Orcs, and Adventures.
All right, and this week, I'm the one that's doing it. Every other week, someone else does it, just so that everybody knows. So, returning back to Lake Town was both a familiar and a new experience, because this time, I had friends with me, Odo and Tealia, and they made the journey a lot better. And we also met up with our previous companions. Unfortunately, the reason for this was very unpleasant. There's still the threat of the East and the Shadow. We chartered a boat and headed into the East once again. And as luck would have it, we found ourselves surrounded by Easterlings once again, who took some very special interest in Lostariel and Issel. And just like that, they took us in and planned to escort us to somewhere. Where that is, we have no idea. And that's what I got.
Stepping onto the boat, the Easterling captain scans the deck, sizing each of you in turn. Noticing Odo's posture and size, he nods approvingly. Raven takes this opportunity, the attention being on the Bjorning, and pulls her hood up, hiding her face, and slips to where some of the extra crates holding water and food are stored on deck. With an improving smirk, he moves to the rest of the company. As he takes in Farmon, bow at the ready, a challenging gleam fills his eyes. He raises his hand in the air. Muzzbag! Follow us to shore, then anchor. Stay with the ships. The horsemen and myself will escort these elves and their comrades to the border of their realm. On the other ship, one of the men with yellow eyes and a greenish tint to his skin nods his head, then slumps below deck. The rest of the men start moving about, readying the boat to go inland. Slowly and with precision, the ship runs aground. The captain looks at the men on horse, bows now slung on their backs and spears in their hands. Turning to you, he says, "You have your own mounts?"
Yes, we do.
Do we all? We have some.
Yeah, you got horses for us last time, don't you remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For the entire company plus pack horses.
Yeah.
They're on the ship.
They're on the
right?
ship. Yeah, for
One's
sure.
big enough for the Bjornings too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple of draft horses just for the Bjornings. Also, I think Tealia is also invisible and like gone.
Yes,
Maybe.
Tealia is invisible at this point. She disappeared at the end. So he actually has not seen you yet. So the people that he's been able to survey and kind of size up are the
Andrew,
two
stop
Bjornings.
it.
No, stay in character. Stay in character.
Yeah, just get off.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So the two Bjornings, Odo especially, he seems kind of impressed with the two elves and Farmon. He has not yet spotted Raven, who is hiding, or Tealia, who basically disappeared with her role.
Dunbeorn.
Oh, Dunbeorn. Yeah, the two Bjornings. The two Bjornings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, he's impressed with Odo, but Dunbeorn's like, whatever.
He sized him up. So
I'm not.
yeah, no, he is impressed with both of you, but Nate's actions, or Odo's actions, I should say, in kind of challenging the captain has earned him a little bit, not more respect, but he recognizes his prowess with his weapon, and not to say that not with Dunbeorn, but so the captain kind of looks at you each and says, "Best to get on the horses then. We'll be needing to head out as soon as possible if we want to make a camp before nightfall."
Our mounts are on our ship, which we left behind.
No, he's on the ship with you.
Oh, I thought you said
He got on your ship and then
You
told
said
his
he
ship
ran
to follow.
aground.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the horses.
You guys started heading inland last time. Remember, you managed to get your ship off, and then you started heading inland, but
Did
the
we?
other came. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Farmon would like to ask where we're going.
I'm going to be taking you first to my village. I have some errands there that need to be seen to, and then I will be taking you, and he kind of nods to the two elves. I will be taking you back to their homeland where they belong.
Indeed.
I appreciate your courtesy. That's very kind of you.
He doesn't, like, his reaction to that is like just kind of, this is his duty and task. He doesn't really seem like he's pleased with it, but
Odo kind of looks over at them all and then just kind of spits on the ground and turns and walks and go gets his horse. Or fetches his horse.
Dunbeorn just rolls his eyes at that, what Odo just did, and also goes to get his horse.
While they're getting their horses, can I like tug on Odo's? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're wearing. Your capri pants, your capri shorts. Sure.
His dungarees.
Right there, look. There you go. Oh wait, never mind. You can't see it yet.
You'll see the picture on the stream.
Oh.
Sorry.
Regardless.
I'm looking at the OBS. Sorry.
yeah, he has like pants on.
Yeah, like I was saying, on his Speedo, and I'm going to be like, "Get my horse! Get my horse!
You don't have a horse, you have a pony.
Get my quadruped!"
Are you doing your thing again?
Yes, I am.
Sure, I'll get your horse.
Thanks.
No problem. And he keeps walking to go get the horses and Tealia's pony.
Okay. You grab the horses and come back up, and at this point, the crew that you have with you has a dock ready, and you're able to cross the group to land.
Video is going to be momentarily screwed up until Skyler comes back. It just
Yep.
is what it is. Bear with us.
So you do have the horses.
Okay, well, I guess we're kind of at this group's mercy now, right? They outnumber us, I'm sure.
Yep.
Currently, yeah. So there's 4 men on horse on land with their spears, and then there are 2 of the men dressed similar to the captain, and 4 of the green-skinned men. One of them is currently under the dock, so 3.
Wasn't there another ship's crew?
No, it's just so there's the ship that came. There's the ship that kind of intercepted you, and that's them. And then your ship crew is there, but they're not eager to go anywhere.
We totally could have taken them. We could have just mopped the floor with these folks and moved on. Oh well.
Interesting.
Let's see where they take us.
Wait, are they taking the crew also? Or is the
No.
crew just...
No, just you guys.
Because the crew doesn't technically exist.
Right. So for those of you watching, a crew technically doesn't exist in the run ring. Everyone's just assumed to fill a role and kind of do what needs to be done on a boat. So there is a crew, but there's no crew. So yeah, basically the crew, they're probably going to leave there. No harm will come to them, but they're more interested in you guys because you're heavily armored. And clearly these guys are somehow connected to the elves, to you two, Issel and Lostariel.
All right. I think we're ready.
Come back on, Skyler.
Yeah, I know. This is painful. Oh no, I
It's
see
like,
what's happening.
There's no quick fix.
I'm Tealia!
There's no quick fix.
Howdy,
for this.
howdy.
Just so you know, there's no quick fix for this.
So
Can't.
bear with us with that, but we can continue on.
There he is.
There we go.
Sorry about that. My internet just hiccuped for some weird reason.
It's fine.
No problem. We just kind of swapped roles.
Rolls. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
with that,
what did I miss? Tell me.
I was explaining how they outnumber you currently. The ship's crew is not the ship's crew, and your horses are ready for you guys to ride.
In
Okay.
Farmon's stead.
Okay, sure.
Odor kind of just puts the pony kind of trailing kind of behind him and his horse a little bit, kind of just kind of leaving out a little bit so that Tealia can nonchalantly or invisibly find her way to it.
This is gonna be real suspicious. The pony's not gonna be invisible, right?
No, the pony's not invisible.
It's just our pack
No.
horse.
Tealia, you could essentially use you could do another stealth check once you have the horse to see if you can stealthily use the TN. Will go up a little bit, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you the horses get to land, and Tealia, you kind of sneak up with the horse, and the captain comes down reaching for his horse, which you notice one of the men had actually gone off during this behind the hill where they had been hiding and brought back another horse. And while he's starting to mount, Tealia, you kind of slip up to your pony and go ahead and roll a stealth check.
What's the TN?
The TN is going to be 16 for this. It's a little bit harder.
I'll hook this up.
Okay.
So close.
You get to apply your wisdom bonus because of your bracelet. Your bracelet is blessed with stealth.
Oh, that makes it exactly 16.
So yeah.
Are we all on horses, by the way?
You have your horses.
Oh,
You guys
okay.
haven't clarified if you want them. But Tealia, you managed to grab your horse, and like as everyone's moving around, you're able to just kind of pull yourself into the water on the far side of the boat. So that way the other ship is not able to see you, but you get further enough behind due to the way it kind of landed onto the land that none of the riders notice you.
So can I ask just a general question?
Yes.
So this is a bracelet, not a ring.
Yes, it's a bracelet that's
Theoretically,
blessed with stealth.
Would this be able to fit onto like a hoof of a pony?
Or the ear?
Oh my god.
So the bracelet itself, like it doesn't, it's more like a clasp. So it's like one of those ones where you kind of like have to go like this to put it on.
Okay.
So there is an open part. So there's probably part of a horse that you could. Horses don't have stats though. So
Why do they need stats
it's
to be
just
invisible?
It's just a really good way to lose a pony, don't you think?
Also, consider this: if Odo is still like dragging that pony along, and suddenly it goes invisible, there's going to be an invisible rope just kind of like floating there in midair.
What is he holding?
yeah,
not saying
none of them pass. None of them pass perception. To be able to see it. It's not
It's a
one third.
floating rope.
Yeah.
What's Odo doing? He's something's wrong with him.
So all this happens. The captain kind of mounts his horse and says, "We got to get going. Come on." And he just kind of like you can tell as it's going by, he's getting very disgruntled that he is not doing what he wants to be doing. With that, everyone make a travel check. TN 14.
How long of a journey is this?
It is one travel check.
Which is
Also, it's
equates
just
to
one.
I'm sorry. Which, if you were to ask him in game, it's
I
about...
did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. It is. He looks at you and he says, "Gonna be about 6 days."
Damn it!
Oh, look at my travel.
Damn
6
it!
days to your village.
I killed. No, I'm hoping this up, and it's also favored.
Grayson and Skyler.
Hey,
I'm also going to hope that up.
hey, you people.
Wow.
Hey, everybody! Don't forget about my honey cakes.
Heather.
Happens in
Roll better. It's just what we're saying.
Honey cakes.
Well,
take
look.
the TN down to
Heather.
subtracted by your wisdom score.
3.
Is that real?
Yeah, but it doesn't help the fact that I rolled a freaking eye.
That's true. There's nothing.
3.
Also-
Well, Heather can do something, right?
Also, Dave, if my travel is favored, what do I add to it? My
You add your favored modifier. Yep.
favored body or
Favored
heart?
body.
Then that makes it a 20.
Let's keep in mind that Nate got a great success on his Gandalf run, so he can help at least one of us.
Yeah, he can help. He can help one of you.
So did
Help
Andrew.
Heather's
us out.
crying.
Tealia. Tealia got a great, extraordinary success too.
There you go. You have the invisible hand of Tealia aiding in the travel.
Okay, so the two of you that just got the eyes, Farmon and Skyler, your roles in traveling are. Let me pull this up.
Hey, now I said I'm hoping it up.
It
Nate
does
can
not.
help.
It does not negate the fact an eye was rolled.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when an eye is rolled in traveling, this is where events can happen that will hurt the fellowship or set them apart somehow. And so we have, as the guide actually this time is the guy, not Tealia, so you're safe. Farmon, you are a scout. So I need you to make a explore roll. TN
Oh, man.
14.
It's a good thing that I have this nifty stick that blesses my explore checks. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. What does the blessing do again?
A blessing allows you to apply your wisdom modifier to any check
Because that's
for that.
why Andrew used stealth.
Yep. Or you can spend a hope to get a magical result, which automatically passes, fills in your 3rd star for your advancement, but increases the eye marker.
I wrote that down, I swear.
What's the TN?
14.
Please don't.
Hey,
Wait, you got your
that's
stick,
plus
though.
3. Wisdom of 3, so I passed it.
So 3, you pass. Okay. So, and then I also know you Dunbeorn to make a hunting check.
Is it TN also 14?
It is 14.
Please, no. I'm going to hope that. I don't care.
Okay. All right. So you are both able.
Dave,
Yes.
what happens narratively during these encounters?
I will explain that as we start traveling.
Oh,
Um,
great.
So, the captain takes the lead. One of the riders moves to the rear, and then 2 move to your sides. The last rides just shortly behind the leader within earshot of you. He leads you past the hill where they had once been hidden, and slowly you crest the green-crowned hill and enter into a tightly packed forest. For the first day, you follow a path which could be called no more than a deer trail. Brush and leaves from the past winter fill the air with a damp, earthy smell. The trees that make up the forest are no different than those that you have seen elsewhere in the Wilderland: birch, evergreen, oak, and fir. The first night, you rest just a little off the path at a small campfire that appeared just before sunset. A small pile of logs stacked up against a trimmed fir tree. Early the next morning, you set out again. Shortly before midday, you emerge from the woods. Before you, rolling hills with small groups of trees cover the land. Your surroundings stay the same for that day and the next. Before sunset on the third day, you travel of your travels, the hill lessens, and a cool breeze whips across the barren, sand-filled land. Sand dunes roll in the distance, and the horse hooves sink into the loose ground. The sun's warmth barely sinks in before the cold wind gusts, kicking up sand. As you're going along, Dunbeorn is searching for any kind of food that he can find with this larger party, and every single time he thinks he might have found a rabbit or a small fox or creature that calls this desert their home, it would sneak out like just before he's able to grasp it and get away, leaving you to have to eat the provisions that were provided for you that you had managed to put in your packs before leaving the ship. Farmon,
Is this even with using hope, though?
Yeah, that's not the bad thing.
Okay, then.
Yeah. You do find like plants and things that you can eat, but no meat. Farmon, on the other hand, at one point actually looking around the ground kind of goes off, leaving the group. And when this happens, the group comes to get you as you were kind of looking at the surrounding area. I'm not really sure. You can kind of illustrate what it is you might be looking at.
I don't know.
I mean, this is your first time in a desert.
That's true. So, literally, Farmon doesn't know.
All he sees is sand everywhere.
Is this a sandy desert or a rocky desert?
It's a sandy desert, yeah, but it's extremely cold.
Okay, a cold sandy desert. So, he's flummoxed by the shifting dunes. Yeah, he'd marked an area that they were making for, and when they failed to get there, it confused him. He had to do a double take, and then all of the natives probably laughed at him for being so inept at managing this particular wilderness.
Yeah, they like, as you're kind of exploring they drag the whole entire party to you as you're just kind of like baffled by it. And it takes you a little bit out of the way, but right before you actually make it to the last site that the captain wants to make camp on the third day, he pauses, holding up his hand, and he looks around. In the distance, you notice that the sand dunes are shifting, and even the hooves of your horses, the ground underneath it, starts to shake, the sand becoming displaced. You watch as a pile, like almost like a like what you would see underneath a rug, comes around the sand dunes, and then popping up its ginormous head, this creature pops out of the sand in front of the party, teeth snarling. Its eyes are like pinned to its side. It's just this brown, sickly color, and it just screams and reaching towards, grabs one of the men that's escorting you, and in its massive mouth swallows him whole. Everyone roll battle check.
Wait, he just ate our guide?
And Snick?
What?
Oh man! Oh,
No, seriously,
man.
did he just eat? Did
The
he just
desert
eat?
worms!
He ate one of the guys.
It's
Yep.
trimmers. It's
What?
trimmers.
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess that happened. No,
Oh, Heather!
Oh no. This
So
is not our
roll
night.
of a 14 will get you an advantage die.
Yes, I got a 15.
Grayson!
Grayson.
What?
This isn't going to be an interesting night.
So Dave, I got a 15. What does that mean?
Means that you get a free dice that you can use at any point during this battle.
Okay, sure.
Sorry, I'm just getting your guys' tokens out. So that way
Yeah,
you
I'm
can-
just. I can just imagine Dunbeorn looking at that, just completely blank face, and he's like, "You don't see that every day."
like this worm is literally it's like it swallows the guy whole, and like as it starts to like pull up, it has no arms whatsoever. Like it's literally just this giant serpent. And standing up, it's a good like 30 feet in the air, and like still part of it is underneath the sand.
Does it kind of look like that giant worm thing from like the last Hobbit movie?
Yes.
The films that shall not be named.
Hey now.
Yes. All right. Do you guys see your tokens
I don't see mine.
on the roll 20?
Yes.
1 second.
I do.
Yeah, I see
can't
mine.
move it.
I see
Same.
everyone's but mine.
We don't need you.
Ooh, that's mean.
There we go.
And also not true.
Okay. All right. So everyone, choose
I can't.
choose your battle position.
Yeah, I just can't click on mine.
Yeah, I can't click on mine either.
Okay, well
So. Yeah.
That's happening. 1 second.
The chat can't see this, right?
Yeah, no, the chat can't see this. Sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties.
It's okay. Basically, there is a giant, ugly worm sticking out of the sand. We're all kind of like, huh, okay.
So,
And a guy just got eaten. So that's, the summary of it.
question. I don't know
Yes.
how big of a bad guy, or whatever this is, how big of a bad anything. What is that? That this thing is. Do we want to take these special battle rolls?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm saying
Uh.
Odo could go as champion so that the thing attacks me because I have a pretty high
Parry score.
parry.
What are the other ones? Ward and something else?
Let me see. It's here somewhere.
One is like Captain Ward, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's Captain Warden and I don't know what else, but I think we're not really. The sacrifice. No. No one is sacrificing anybody unless there's like somebody who's like the red shirt in the group, which apparently got eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we just stand back and let these guys take care of it? They're the ones who are proficient at dealing
We'll
with
just-
this
The
environment.
local-
We'll
This is their
we'll
favorite
just like put
terrain.
out.
We'll all be
Just
in
put out like some
forward,
chairs.
And they can be in forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put out some chairs. We'll
so
lie down and have some mimosas.
The creature did its attack when it gobbled the guy whole.
Rip the guy.
You guys have battle positions, so the first one would be opened. Just so you know, normally only 3 people can engage with a single character. However, because the creature is so large, all of you could technically engage with the character should you choose. You get to determine who it attacks because you outnumber how many people are in this combat. So you can choose who he is going to face. So if you want to do that.
The captain amongst the Easterlings. Is that an option?
They are ready, but it must be amongst your fellowship as well.
Okay, I just checking. Don't want to see our options. Yeah, it can be me. I'm fine with that.
Okay. So
it's
Odo,
Odo,
are you
defensive?
You're gonna take defensive? Okay.
Yeah,
so
this
first
thing's
up is
attacking
open position. So we will start with Dunbeorn.
Okay.
And real quick, everyone needs to make a fear test.
Which is
Valor.
Valor. Okay.
Yep. It's TN 14.
Well, hang on.
I just
It's
need
not-
to know if you pass or fail.
It's not letting me. Oh, hang on.
well,
Hey, 18. I
Skyler got
passed.
it.
Okay.
Awesome.
What's the passing?
14.
Okay, good. I pass.
Well, hold on. I get to roll the feat die twice. So let me roll 1d12.
Grayson. Farmon. Farmon's like, what is this desert?
Hold on.
What is this? Farmon is like Anakin. You know, it's like I hate sand.
I feel like the winds of fortune have changed since
Okay.
last.
So Farmon, you cannot spend hope until at the start of each round you take a test until you get. Oh, actually, this is a great or extraordinary success. All of you can't spend hope, so you need a great or extraordinary success. As this is literally. It's called Thing of Terror. It's a rule. He's so terrifying that you need a great or extraordinary success. So you need to pass and then a 6.
So none of us get to use hope.
None of you get to spend hope.
Unless somebody kind of like breaks the curse.
What
So to
about-
speak.
Wait, you said pass and have a 6?
Because
Yeah.
there's 2
I got
people who
6.
have that.
Okay, I can't. My thing's lagging the dice, so
Skylar
Yeah,
and
so-
Nate are fine.
Nate's good. Nate, this combat is all you, man. This is
Yeah. Nate versus the worm.
all right. Dunbeorn, you're up.
Bye.
You're up first.
Okay.
See ya.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, get off of my horse, and grab my axe and just charge in and just hit this thing.
Okay.
What's the TN on this?
Its parry is 5. So your position is 9 plus 5, so that would be 14.
Okay. Oh, I got an I, but I also hit it with a 20.
Okay.
And there's a 2 6s in there actually.
So you are going to be applying your damage times 2 plus your weapon to him.
Damage times 2. My damage is 9, so 18.
18 plus your weapon damage.
Well,
So the weapon your damage is your body. How much damage you normally do? So it's your body times 2 plus the damage of the weapon.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused by that. It's what my
How much?
my damage is like 9
Okay.
for the great axe.
And then what's your body?
score?
It's 7.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So like you run up to it and you just your axe cleaves into it, and like you literally cut a huge slice down the middle as you just bring your axe down on it, and you hear it screams out like. It's hot breath just like filling you, and like this thing needs to brush its teeth. It's nasty. It's disgusting.
It just needs a tic tac.
Yeah.
Easterling breath.
So with that, we will go. Tealia, you are hidden as of right now. What would you like to do?
Can I do like a stealth attack?
The sudden attack.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So go. You're already stealthed. What did you get for that stealth roll? Do you remember?
Way back when. I can go up and look. I got a 14.
14. Did you get any sixes or no?
No.
Okay, then you get one. You get one die to roll with this. One extra bonus die.
Right.
And 13 is the TN.
Yeah, 22 with an extra 6.
Okay, so 22. That definitely.
So that's 7 damage.
All right. Next up is Issel.
Okay. All right. I don't even know what to do. I guess I'll. Yeah. Well, I was trying to switch it up with Issel, but never mind. I'll hit him with my
Maybe we can
sword.
reason with it.
Right. What's the TN again? I'm sorry.
13.
I mean, can you like inspire or do something like that?
Can I? Like.
Yeah, they can recover endurance. They haven't lost anything yet.
That's
maybe
exactly
next-
what I was thinking.
You could try on the guy who got eaten.
Hope you feel better.
He tears his way out of the worm.
We'll cut you out later.
Get well soon.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hit it because nobody's hurt yet.
Believe in
so-
yourself.
You're doing great.
It's fine. This is fine.
12.
12. You just
Oh.
barely miss. You go to swing, and as you do it, just kind of like whoops, darts out of the way. Let's see. Next would be defensive position. So Odo,
All right.
and your TN is 17.
Yes, Odo's gonna kind of slam his axe on his shield, kind of like a challenging thing since we're picking him to fight this guy, kind of like kind of thing. And then he's gonna swing with his axe. And that's edge too.
That's edge 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go. What did you get? A 21?
Yeah, 21, and then that's 15 for damage and edge.
Okay. You go to swing, but as you are about to hit it, it suddenly ducks under, and you just barely miss.
Whoa.
Interesting. With a 21?
It's a special ability.
Oh, it's a legendary action.
He blew a hate point.
I blew it. Yep. So with that, Lostariel, you see the thing kind of duck. It's kind of popping under the ground.
Can I try and hit it through the ground?
You can still see it as it's
okay.
going. This is
Okay, well, yeah.
Destroy it. Destroy it.
Aim for its head.
Sure.
Where's my bow?
26. Yep. That
Damn.
Feels
That-
good, man.
that hit.
Damn.
And how much damage do you do?
5.
I don't have my sheet with me. Okay. All right, and Farmon.
Farmon is going to take the aim special sort of action.
Okay. The men standing there kind of like put their spears away and pull out their bows and start shooting. Okay, 2 of them hit. Okay, the creature, like all these arrows kind of like sink in, and then it, as it's in the ground, kind of pops up sideways and goes at Dunbeorn because he got an eye. He has to attack Dunbeorn. So
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Bring it.
and
Actually, no, don't bring it.
he doesn't hit as he kind of like reaches as he bites, but he as he reaches for you, he actually comes out in his entirety and he swings his tail back to hit Odo.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
What's my... Here, look at my TN. 20. All right, my TN's
Just broke
21.
my chair. So you hold up your shield, and like as you do, you just hear this boom, and you actually like you're pushed back in the sand, like your feet just sliding across the loose earth as this massive end of the worm smashes into you. It is your guys' turn again.
Woo. Can I ask a quick question, Dave?
Yes.
Well, 2 of them. First of all, if I want to do a non-combat action next round,
Yes.
what stance should I be in?
Depends what you want to do. You have Enhearten and Rally Comrades, which are open.
Like, not even, like, anything regarding combat.
So what do you want to do?
I want to try to search the bags of the other people. See if I can find anything of plot interest.
Oh my god, why? We're in the middle of combat.
This is the perfect opportunity.
This is
Everyone's
the
I would
perfect
say-
opportunity.
Do open. It would be open, and it would be a stealth.
Sounds good.
So,
Second question. Does
Yes.
this worm have, like, a tongue, or is it just teeth?
yeah, it's mostly teeth, but you do see like this fat kind of tongue that's
Awesome.
like kind of flopping around. You actually see caught in one of its tooth the crescent moon helmet of one of the guys. Like,
Gotcha. I just thought it would be interesting to see a worm tongue, so far out east,
I see what you did there. You were banned.
No,
Why run?
keep it up.
so,
Just kidding.
so if anyone wants to change battle positions, now would be your time.
No, I'm good.
Can
Okay.
I also do defend comrade
Okay.
Dunbeorn?
All right. So you move in front of Dunbeorn to kind of protect him from this giant creature. Dunbeorn, you're up first.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of like, sort of like nudge Odo out of the way just so that I can hit this thing again. And well, let's see what happens. 18.
18. That definitely hits.
Yeah. For a total of 9.
9?
Well, isn't that what it?
Yep.
Isn't that what the damage?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Nope, I was just confirming.
Yeah.
Okay. You slice into it again, and like as you do, this blood just kind of like spurts out at you and sprays onto Odo's shield.
Some of it
appears-
on my face too, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. It appears you hit a pretty good organ or something in this creature that now that blood would start gushing. It is Tealia's turn.
Muted. Hi. Can I, search around a little bit?
Yeah. Whose bag are you searching?
Oh gosh, I feel like having been eaten, the Easterling Guard number 3 probably isn't paying super close attention.
Okay. You walk over there and you start shuffling through his bag. Did you make a stealth roll?
I certainly can.
Yep. Okay, that is.
Oh dear.
I'll hope that.
Wait,
Oh,
no.
God.
Wait, he's still invisible, or she's still invisible, isn't she? So
I was gonna say, yeah, because if she's still
that's
invisible.
True. That's true.
I mean, I could roll like a search instead.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a search. Do you want that to count for search? Do you have 3 in search?
I have 2 in search. Same
Okay.
exact one. I'll
Oh my
just
god.
Wow.
nothing.
Wow.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
I hope
it
that
seems
one.
like
9.
All right. Yeah. So
9.
you kind of like start searching through, and you notice a few things. You notice what appears to be some rope and some kind of like metal contraption. It looks like shackles, though they're quite they're rather close together. They're not like the normal chained ones you would see, more like one piece held together. You also see some food, things like that, but that's pretty much it. Just everyday travel items.
Gotcha.
All right, Zell.
How's everybody feeling? Everyone feels good? Everyone great? I guess.
The creature would like a few more endurance points, please.
Sounds good. I'm going to hit him with the pointy end. Just be like, like this, Odo?
Oh, dear.
13.
Yes. Exactly.
13 does not hit. You need a 14.
I thought you said it was a TN of 13.
9 plus 5.
That's what you said last round.
I'm sorry. I mathed wrong. Do you want to apply hope?
No, it's okay. I still don't understand how you do this, Odo. I don't get it.
You have to scream while you do it.
All right.
Oh.
It's a release of energy. Actually, there is a science behind that, but
All right. Odo, can you protect Comrade while... Can you attack? I don't think so.
I can
Yes, you can.
spend a point
Yep.
of hope if I need to defend or want to.
Yep.
Yeah, Odo is gonna take another swing at his axe. It went so well last time. What could possibly go wrong?
Same thing happens. You go and swing for it, and it ducks out of the way.
God.
Wow.
That's really frustrating for you.
Oh yeah.
It probably, yeah, especially considering that he's like next to me, and he sees that I'm just connecting all of my attacks.
As
You and the worm have a connection.
yeah, the
Apparently
older
so.
Bjorning, the older Bjorning is definitely showing you up at this point.
Are the like Easterlings attacking too?
They
Did
are
I miss
going-
that?
They are going to attack. I'm rolling their dice right now.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
They got a
totally
turn
attacking.
They're like throwing
They all
darts. Oh my
What?
god.
Look at that, they all suck.
And
Stormtroopers.
The creature mid swing from ducking out of Odo's attack is going to go and try to hit him. You're gonna take a big bite out of Odo.
Ooh.
We shall see.
Nope. Its teeth literally, like, you hear this as it scrapes up against your shield. Just an irritating ring. As it does this, it swing. Lostariel and Farmon get to attack. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, did you skip us, Rude?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Thanks,
We skipped
Well,
the.
Save what happened. Save what happened with Odo for last, and then have them both attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, they can attack now because that was his attacks.
So it's my turn?
I skipped. Love.
Destroy it.
What happens with the piercing shot?
Piercing shot, he has to make a protection test or be wounded.
Gotcha. Okay, well, let's roll for my bow. I feel like she's like trying to stand on top of a dune and shoot down at this guy. So yeah, I'm going to spend a point of hope to make that a stinging arrow.
Okay, so he has to make a protection test.
Yeah, it makes it an automatic piercing bow.
Okay, and I can't dodge that. Okay. What's the injury rating?
What do I look for that?
It will be on your bow.
On my bow, 14.
I got a 16. But your arrow pierces its eye, and it just like lets out this howling rage and like starts shaking violently, like just writhing around. And the ground's just shaking violently as it does it. Farmon,
having surveyed the battle as it has raged so far, thinks he has a pretty good understanding of how this thing moves and conducts itself in a fight, and picks his moment, raises his Dalish longbow, draws it to the ear, and looses an arrow in one fluid motion. What's my target number for hitting this thing?
17.
Oh, look.
Oh,
and it's
that's
also a
good
piercing blow.
All right. So you strike it in its other eye, and
he has to because it's a Dalish longbow. He has to roll. I think he has to roll the feat die twice and take the worst one, or something.
Well, he passes either way with 3 6s, even if he doesn't. Even if he takes the lowest. So you pierce its other eye, and it's still hanging on there. Like blood is oozing. Like the sand around this worm is just red at this moment as you guys are just striking at it. So Dunbeorn, it's your turn.
All right. Okay. Just hit it again and see what happens. 23.
Okay. Did that cause a piercing blow?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. You hack away at it, and like chunks of flesh are just coming off of this thing. Blinded, it's just moving around, and like you can see each time it kind of swings low, you hear kind of like this, as though it's like sniffing, trying to use any of its senses to track what it is.
I'm just gonna, as a bonus action, I guess you could say, just shout out, "It's blinded! Kill it!"
All right. Tealia, what are you doing?
Just, pressing the wrong buttons.
Oh.
Oh gosh, I feel like the smart thing to do is attack the thing, but that's not why I play role-playing games. You know what? Yeah, I'll just attack it. That's fine.
What did you want to do? Find the nearest outlet mall?
I mean, can I do a explore check just in case?
As a free action, sure. You strike at the creature, and you manage to slash at it, and like you're a little bit lower to the ground, so you're cutting more closer to its tail. It's bleeding everywhere, and as you cut it, you kind of look around, hoping to find some place to go shopping, and it's a desert.
There is no JCPenney's here.
He really rolled for Explorer. Oh
I did roll for Explorer.
All right, Issel.
I forgot. I forgot to tell you. I changed my position.
Oh, what did you change it to?
Forward. I'm dropping my shield.
Okay, you drop your shield and like getting it ready. You swing.
So he drops his shield, puts it down. He's getting frustrated, and then he's like, runs and. What's my TN?
TN with this is 5 + 6, so 11.
This goes to 11.
Yep. You slice, and like you actually get it right at the lower part of its mouth, and you cut a huge gash in its mouth, and like its mouth kind of like splits open in this like eerie kind of way. But it's still there. It's still holding on.
God, how many hit points does this thing have?
Okay. Yeah. I'm really bad at fighting, everybody, just so you know. I'm gonna put away my sword and try and hit it with my spear that I've never used, because why not? So, TN 14?
TN 14.
Sounds good. 12.
Every time.
12.
Well,
Every
13,
single
right?
time. Well,
Oh, no,
no,
it's
because
not
that's only for
enchanted.
my sword. But
12 is your lucky number.
I'm just looking at Odo, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong!
Aww.
Okay.
That's so sad.
With that, next up would be Lostariel.
Just swing with your eyes closed.
Right. Here we go again. Oh my god!
Woo! Look at that.
I don't think I've ever
This
gotten
has
that
to
30
kill it
before.
now.
That's intense.
Bad rolls, bad rolls.
Finish it off.
Yes.
Right. I shoot it right into its mouth, into its throat, and pin it to the ground. If that's possible.
So like it's
Or like to itself. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
All
shoot through its mouth, and it'll like, you know, rear back, and like the arrow will go through it the rest of its body, and it's like
right.
bent on itself.
So it comes towards you like it's ready to feast on your flesh, and you just pull your arrow back. It goes in, and as it hits the back of the throat, the thing rears backwards, and in its dying thrash, like falls back and pierces itself on your arrow, and just kind of like lays connected to
Like a
itself
stinky.
on the ground.
And then Issel runs up and just pokes it and just been like, I finally hit it!
You have to go get your spear too, right?
Yup, and I grab it from way over in the corner. Hopefully it didn't hurt anybody important. And just
I'm gonna
Take it
come search, like look at the worm. I'd like to roll lore or something. Like, what is this?
I was just
Can I-
gonna get up
can-
and walk back and grab his shield off the ground, kind of brush it off.
I don't know.
would you
Am
like
I
help
able to,
looking
like-
at it, Issel? Or Lostariel?
So flustered from battle, I see.
Completely.
Yes, certainly.
I'm sorry,
if you have
what
any
was your-
insight.
What was your question, Dunbeorn?
Am I able to use beast lore on this? Would I have ever seen anything?
You've heard rumors of the worms of the east that live in the desert region, but you have never seen one before.
I can just assume that this is probably one of them.
Yeah,
But I saw one today.
Most
Okay.
of you, having lived or been near Lake Town, would have heard the rumors, but this is your first time seeing one, and it's massive. Now that it's laying doubled over on itself, you can see it's close to 65 feet in length.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
After Odo gathers his shield and whatever, and holsters his equipment, he'd like to go over to, like, I'm sure it has big fangs.
Yeah, they're like that. They're like daggers.
He cuts one out if he can.
Yeah, go ahead, and you can. Well, if you want to make an athletics, it's up to you, because I know you get. I mean, that's how you get your advancement points. So,
Athletics would not help me. I've been maxed out in athletics since our little Yuletide festival.
okay. So in that case, yeah, you're able to just pull it out, and you can make a dagger out of it probably. The captain kind of like pulls his horse up and walking over to the group says, "It's not often that one of those worms comes. Something strange about this group." I'll be looking.
No, let him finish his sentence.
I'll be looking forward to when we get home. The camp's just a little bit further that we'll stop for the night.
What is this thing?
It's a worm of the east. They live in the desert, though they don't often come out, mostly when food is too scarce and they're not able to find a creature that's lame, dying from heat stroke or injury from something else.
I've heard about these things before, but this is my first time seeing it.
Are there any useful parts to be salvaged from its body?
I've never really looked much into it. I mean, their teeth could probably go for a pretty penny, but that's probably about it. They don't carry any venoms on them, nor do they have any meat that your kind would find to be pleasurable.
But your kind does?
No, definitely not. No man enjoys this. Perhaps some of the wild men that live in the mountains would prefer this kind of rancid meat, but not us civilized.
Oh, I see.
And that, yeah, based on your previous insight, that was not a jab at Bjornings. That was just a jab at, like, men that live in the mountains.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, Lostariel's not going to pursue that conversation any further.
I'll just clean my axe and just go back to my horse.
Yeah, she collects her arrows, like dripping with worm slime.
My weapons are all just clean and pretty and shiny and a top-notch sword and spear there.
They're quite lovely.
Minus that little pointy end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a
That
small drop of...
pointy.
All right, he looks at all of you, minus Tealia, who is still stealthing with her pony, and he says, "All right, I want to make camp before it gets any darker in case there's any more. They tend to travel in packs, but this could have been a lone wolf."
So can Tealia go to the worm real fast? Kind of go to the other side of it? Away from the group?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to kind of like get her sword, make sure it looks kind of messy with worm blood, and then take off her bracelet and kind of come around. Be like, "Excuse me, this was my kill. You guys can't just come in here. This was a duel 1-on-1, and you ruined it."
Tealia? Where you been?
Yeah, I mean, I've been searching for our mistresses and go to the two elves. It's like, it's fantastic to see you again. Everyone back home has been so worried.
Indeed, and you went roving out on your own, like we've always told you not to. You're lucky you ran into us, I think.
Well, certainly luckier than the worm.
It's true. And, like, Lostariel kind of strokes her bow.
Go ahead and make a test for that.
Ew.
Andrew, I take it you're trying to convince them of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, persuasion.
I will allow you to do a persuasion, or I will allow you to do a... Oh, there's no perform. Yeah, basically persuasion.
Sure. But I get +2 because of my blessing.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Well, at least some people are going to believe it.
So that's a 14.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta check what their stat line is. Oh wow, they're actually pretty good at this. So, nope, not that good.
Good.
To balance it out, that was all ones on 4 dice.
Oh my god.
So
Excellent.
the captain
We just
kind of
filled
rides over a little bit closer to Lostariel and this little girl that he sees and says, "Is she your mistress?" Looking down at Tealia.
Well, the tides have turned. No longer is Tealia Queen of Hobbits now.
You brought this on yourself.
I know, I absolutely did. Yes, of course.
And your purpose for being here?
Well, I mean, apparently we have a few of our elves, begging your pardon, my ladies, who just left the forest, and I mean, they're our official lookout parties, but I wasn't just going to let them go. Oh no, I was going to follow them and bring them back where they are safe and where they belong. Mm-hmm.
Lostariel turns to the captain. She's like, she's a bit of a mischievous one, but she means well. Stout of heart, in fact.
All right, go ahead and roll persuasion as well.
Oh shoot, I'm not on Bronwyn. I was like, I'm great at persuasion.
Oh.
No, I have 0 in persuasion. Can I roll something else?
You can try riddle. And try.
I don't have anything in riddle either, so I'm just gonna do. I got a 6.
I mean, a 6. You know.
He looks at you suspiciously, and after a moment says, "She certainly looks like an elf, though I've never heard of..." And he looks at her and then back at you. "I've never heard..."
her in the wilderness and took her in when she was a small child.
Yes, I've
They
never
call
heard
me
of
a short
like her.
elf. A shelf for
You're
short.
kind. Never heard your kind allowing children out without proper...
She is not a child, no.
He looks baffled at this, and as you share that, he can tell you're lying, that she's not a child, but he doesn't want to press it too much.
I'm not lying.
You rolled a 6.
Yeah, but I'm not lying about that.
Well,
She's
about
not
her
a
being
child.
an elf child, like
Oh,
an
no,
elf
no,
adult.
Telia's
she's
pretty
an
much
elf
a child,
child.
though.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say she's an elf child. I said we found her in the wilderness when
Okay.
she was
All right.
little and took her.
He thinks you're up to something, but he doesn't want to press it
Okay.
anymore. And he says, "Oh, very well." And
It's complicated.
you said that you were in combat with this worm. Where exactly were you?
I did hit the worm once, right? So I'll go over there and point out the wounds with the sword. Sword.
Finer than what my men did.
Oh well, I'm sure they'll get better at it eventually.
Not
Just
the one
have
who
to
got
stick a few
swallowed,
other
though.
worms on them, you know.
So what is your purpose in being here other than finding your mistresses?
Well, I mean that was the main one. And then I'll take out my book. But also, Mistress Issel, you dropped this. I wanted to make sure you had it back.
Thank you very much. I dearly missed my book, and I'm happy you were able to retrieve it for me.
That was
Okay.
smooth as smooth jazz.
With that, Issel, you have come into possession and can write on your character sheet later the book that Andrew previously had.
We need to
That
come up
exactly.
for a better
That
name
whole
for that
thing.
book.
It actually has a name. I
Book
just
that
don't
Andrew
have it.
previously had.
I just don't. I don't have the name with me.
The book that formerly belonged to Tealia.
I believe it's the Book of Alatir. But I'll have to. Alator, thank you.
Alator, Alatir, Alatar, Alatur.
Elator. I think it's Elator. It ends in an OR.
Yeah.
But
No.
so that is now in your possession, the book, the journal of the former Blue Wizard. So with that, he kind of looks at the group and says, "It seems that you can handle yourselves if you want. I'm sure you could head back to your own land, or we can continue to escort you." And you guys can tell that he prefers the latter, but he's willing to let you go now that Tealia has showed up as well.
He understands that you all are now in good hands.
He wants to let us go separately from him?
Yeah. Who specifically is he speaking to? Like, who's he speaking?
He's speaking to your group. He's willing to let you guys go now that this elf girl has shown up and said,
"Why her?"
Because they obviously, someone is looking for you. Elves are looking for you, and he does not. You get the situation, like all of you would have incited this. He is very uncomfortable to be around the two of you, and the fact that one just showed up and they are looking for you. He does not want to be around elves.
All right. Yes, well, we thank you for your help thus far. Perhaps we could not have defeated the worm without you.
Odo gets kind of
The
like...
contribution was meaningful. Odo, what did you say?
Oh, no, Odo is just doing a nonverbal. He was just like kind of like hearing that, seeing what they actually didn't do. It was kind of like,
Meanwhile, Dunbeorn is like, he's just this whole time that Tealia was doing this, he's just kind of like shaking his head, like, "Oh, hobbits."
Odo goes and grabs his horse and Tealia's, and kind of walks over and like, "I think you'll be needing this back."
Oh, thank you very much. It's been so long.
Right. And then he just goes on, swings on his horse.
All right. With that, we are going to take a quick break, and then we will be back in 5 minutes.
Nate, I am just as bad as those other soldiers. Like, I am just as bad. If not worse. They hit him twice. I didn't even get close. Let that be just out there in the world.
Don't worry.
It's okay. You'll have a chance to, like, really hit something and really do something.
Don't worry. After next fellowship phase, when you spend some experience, we'll be fine.
So fine. For someone who makes weapons, so bad at having them myself.
It's okay. We can do some training together.
Okay.
Training montage.
Hit me.
I was trying to, like, be non-fighty because I'm the smart one, and no, it's not working out that well at all.
No, it can work out. It's good to have somebody like that in the group.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, it is break. We've been talking. Everyone has been hearing us.
Go, they can hear us.
Hello.
Ah!
We're
Okay.
back.
All right, we are back.
It's my sounds of pain.
All right, just waiting for that photo to appear. There we are. All right, we're all looking beautiful.
All right.
Okay. So with that, the captain kind of as Tealia gets her horse from Odo, the captain looks and says, "Well, you're more than welcome to come with us, but if you're on your way, you're on your way.
Where are you going? To your camp.
We're making camp for the night, just past some of these dunes, and then heading back to my town. From there, we would lead you across the river, and if you still want our escort, though apparently your kin are looking for you, we would escort you across the river to the gate of your kingdom."
Lostariel kind of glances at everybody else like, we don't know where we're going. Maybe this isn't the worst idea.
Maybe escorting us right to the border of our land. That way we wouldn't have to run into any more of our kin would be the best. We would hate to run into more dangerous animals without any assistance.
He nods his head and says, "As you wish." He leads you up a couple of sand dunes, and then again you notice what appears to be a pre-made camp set between two small sand dunes. Some of the sand has actually been dug away, and you can actually get protection from the cool wind that blows. On the fourth day of your travels, the men escorting you arrive in a small village. The sun has just passed its zenith when the first buildings come into sight past one of the larger sand dunes. As you descend, the ground starts to become covered in scattered bushes, a small thicket of trees here and there. Between three of these thickets, sitting halfway up of a hill, a town awaits. A wall of baked mud forms a perimeter around the village. At the gate, you see two identical flags whipping in the light breeze. A yellow rectangular banner with a black horse-drawn carriage and a curved blade underneath. Standing on the ramparts are men in yellow cloaks with silver fish scale armor, spears held tightly and swords strapped to their waists. Their helmets match those of the riders. A crescent moon on the front of the helm, and their faces are covered with a black veil. As you pass through the gate and enter into the town appears before you. But like many of the small villages you would see throughout Middle-earth, there's not much different. The buildings are tan in color and appear to be made of the same material as the wall surrounding them. The roofs are flat, and logs and twigs are tied together by rope. The captain pulls short, pointing to a medium-sized building connecting the wall on your left. "That house there is used for guests. It's right next to the guardhouse, so you can rest assured that you'll be protected. Though I'm sure you can protect yourself." And he nods at the group, having seen you in action. "Feel free to look around. We'll take you the rest of the way tomorrow. As I said, I have things to attend to." With that, he and the rest of your remaining escort go off deeper into the town, leaving you at the gate.
So wait, he said that they're escorting us tomorrow?
Tomorrow. They'll take you the rest of the way tomorrow.
Okay, and did he tell us where we're chilling?
He says that there's the building right there is where you can stay. That's the guest house.
It's a guest house, not an inn.
Yeah. It's where guests stay.
Interesting. Did he ever say his name?
He did not.
God damn it.
We never asked.
I know.
We've traveled with this guy for how long? Like 4 or 5 days, and we never asked his name.
Yep.
Awkward.
We gave him
You've been
our
through the
names.
desert with a man with no name.
Do the horses have adequate shelter and feed?
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah. The barracks is right next to this building, and so there are stables not far from it. You can actually see the stable from where you're standing, and there's horses lined up there where you would be able to tie them up, and they'd be
I'd like
welcome.
to do that.
Okay. So you walked a little way. It's about maybe 30, 40 feet past the barracks building, which is right up against the wall. And a small boy comes out and starts tending to the horses. He doesn't speak whatsoever. He just tends to everything, pretty much ignoring you. And as soon as he's done with your horse, he runs off.
All right. Can I continue to? I'd like to keep looking at the town, just exploring a little bit.
Odo's just gonna go to that guest house and just kind of make himself at home.
Yeah, Dunbeorn's going to do the same thing. He's just going to like drop his supplies off and everything.
Like
I want
Odo
to
has,
explore.
Odo has no interest in seeing anything. He's just like, yeah.
I would
Dunbeorn
like to
just wants to
explore.
rest.
Okay, me and Issel are definitely gonna walk around. Anyone
Okay.
else?
Yeah. Farmon's definitely curious about this place.
Tealia?
Tealia?
I'm muted. Yes, I would love to join.
All right,
All
so
right.
the only one staying behind is Odo, correct?
No, both the Bjornings.
Why do you keep excluding me from everything?
I'm sorry. I thought you said you were.
You
dropping
keep
your
doing
stuff.
this.
You said you were dropping your stuff off.
Yeah, but I was gonna make myself at home with along with Odo.
Okay. So we'll start with you two. You are you enter into the room, and it's fairly nice. There's what appears to be a living area with a fire not going, but there are logs in the hearth. It looks like some of them were probably, there was a short fire last night. They're slightly charred. As well in that area, there's a table and several chairs. If you walk past that room, there's just 2 other rooms that have beds in them, about 5 beds each. You're guessing most likely it's for separate genders, but hard to tell.
Are there beds big enough for the 2 Bjornies?
Good question.
Yeah.
I mean, you could push 2 of the beds together or lengthwise, and you'd be able to.
Okay.
fit.
Okay.
Yeah, they're normal human-sized beds.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's probably going to be the first thing that Dunbeorn is going to do. Just take 2 beds, put them together, and that's good enough.
Is there 2 beds per room?
No, there's 7 beds.
I thought there's 5.
5, sorry,
Per
5.
This is really not that big of a deal.
5. There's 5 beds in each room.
Wow. Okay.
Like there's 2 rooms, 5 beds in each.
Okay. Odo
Do
sets
as
up
you will.
Odo sets up his hammock in the rafters, just like he did back in New Rune,
Okay.
or whatever he can.
Dunbeorn, you just.
Yeah, I just kind of like put the beds together just so that I have a place to sleep.
Okay. And then you 2 start relaxing.
Yeah.
I'll probably go by the fireplace and just kind of sit there and just kind of like, take care of my weapons and gear and making sure everything's in good repair. If anything needs to be like a quick little repair or something because of the fight or whatever, he'll tend to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just make myself comfortable and kind of like take a break.
Okay. Outside, after the Bjornings enter into the place where you guys will be staying, the town, the way it works is there's the wall, and then the path leads towards the base of the hill where the rest of the town lays, and it actually, like, in a zigzag way, goes slowly up the hill. About halfway. It doesn't go all the way. And a lot of the buildings that are up there are actually blocking sight from different areas. There is a street to your right that seems to lead a little bit further on the barren land before it goes up onto the hill. But that's basically what you can see from where you guys are standing right now.
So, are there people about?
There are some people moving about. There's the 2 guards standing up at the top in their yellow capes, kind of watching you guys. They're not really giving attention to the outside, as nothing that you have seen since the worm really has caught your eye. And so they're just looking down at you. There are a few people going about, but it seems like they're very much about their business. Whatever it is that they have to do, they go do it and then disappear back into another house or store.
So it's a pretty small town.
Yeah.
There's no like marketplace or anything.
There, you would guess if you go adventuring, there would probably be a marketplace. The population of this is just probably a little bit smaller than Lake Town.
Oh, I'd like
half
to
the size of
go
Lake Town.
looking for something like that.
Okay. So are you going to go up or are you going to go to the right?
I'll go up because that'll give me a better vantage point, presumably, to see the town.
Okay. You start walking, and as you head further towards the hill, you notice it gets much more compact. But then right at the base of the hill, everything kind of opens up, and you notice that along towards the left there are a series of shops, and you start hearing people trying to hawk their wares and things. And probably the most curious sight is a large platform at the end of the street that's actually set up along the wall. You actually can just look straight down where this market area is, and there's what appears to be some kind of platform set up against the wall.
Is everyone with me?
Dave, while we're making our way down there, can I attempt an awareness check to see if we're being like tailed by anybody, if they're keeping tabs on us?
Yep.
Probably gonna fail it, but I'll hope it up. I want to succeed on this one.
As you're walking around, you're not noticing anyone following you. While the guards were keeping an eye on you, it doesn't appear, since you've entered into the city, that they're very concerned about your overall whereabouts.
That's interesting. Farmon will comment about it as they make their way towards the market. He'll address the others and say, they really aren't concerned at our being here. They're not worried about strangers in their town.
That's interesting.
Should they be?
I don't think so. I have no malintention.
I mean, other than overthrowing their king and...
Well, we don't know their stance on the king.
We don't know anything about this place.
It's true.
Okay, so the market street at the base of the hill extends. Is there anything particularly you're looking for, or are you just going to walk?
I'm looking for a number of like small gifts. What month is it right now?
It's April.
Okay, yeah, I need
April.
Yeah. I'm looking for a number of small gifts, so I'm looking for like the equivalent of like an Etsy store. It's like a small
An Easterling Etsy store.
You find there's like between two rather nice looking shops, one of them selling baked goods and the other one selling what appears to be some weird fruit that you're not really familiar with. A rather small store that literally just has knickknacks, and there's actually string. There's a whole very small hole drilled in everything, and it's just hanging. Like everywhere you go, it's hanging. You're able to comfortably like walk because you're so short between these things, but if the elves or Farmon tried to walk in, they would hit their head on just the amount of stuff that is hanging from the ceiling and the walls and everything.
Perfect for Tealia.
First off, are there any other like small people like me in the store? Is this a store for hobbits?
No. The woman that's sitting there, she appears to be elderly, and while she's not short, she is doubled over with a hunch.
Yeah. I'll be, oh, hello there, and then just kind of start looking around a little bit. And we don't have to do this whole shopping sequence, but I want to try to find,
You looking for something?
Just a few little things, a few gifts.
Oh, come here and let me help you.
I'm getting a very big stranger danger vibe from this.
Stranger danger. I'm not there. I don't know if anyone else went in, but I did not.
Come here, little girl.
I'm saying this as Skyler, not as Dunbeorn.
I would have followed her in. I would have followed her in
insight
just
this?
to make sure she's okay.
You can insight.
Gives little old woman.
This is the last that we learn of little Tealia Proudfoot here. Yeah, pretty well.
What'd you get?
18.
You're able to tell she does want to see something, but overall she seems trustworthy. You're not able to tell what it is that she wants to, like, she's curious to check something out about you, but you don't know what. But she does seem genuine in if this was to check out whatever it is. She wants your patronage.
Good. Well, that raises no red flags. I'll walk over there. Wow.
As soon as you come over, she like reaches out an old hand and places it on top of yours. She actually, if you try to pull your hand away, she like gently but forcefully in a grandmother like way like pulls it out and kind of just like touches your wrist and says, "Oh, good. You have such pretty hair there. What can I be helping you with?" And she like goes to reach. She goes to reach for your hair, but like right before she touches it, she pulls back like.
I feel a little bit like little Red Robin Hood right now.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, not talking to you. Talking to the ether and everyone else on the show. But
the ether?
Yeah, that was part of the joke.
Last name's Ether.
Yes. I'm looking for some gifts. My birthday's coming up, you see.
Oh, good. Yes, we have plenty of knickknacks here. Is there anything? I have this here.
And she comes back with like this weird cylinder-like object. She's like, "This is
pretty good."
Oh, well, I'm certainly intrigued. What is that?
Well, you see, you can.
And like she starts blowing on the top, and she moves her fingers, and it makes noise. It appears to be some kind of magical instrument.
magical instrument? Or just an instrument?
Did I say magical
I
instrument?
did say magical.
No
It
take backs.
appears to be
Yeah,
some
you did say
magical
magical,
instrument.
so...
Oops.
But
No.
in the sense of the quality of sound coming out of it, you've seen this in dwarvish instruments. Like it's a toy, but it's been enchanted so that way it sounds more like a real instrument.
Gotcha. Oh well, I mean that certainly looks like a perfect gift for one of my companions. Yes, I think I'll take that, and I'll just have a little look around to see what else I can find.
Oh, okay. Yes. And if no, just let me know what you want, dear, and I'll make sure you get it.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So you look around and you see various knickknacks. You are able, if you want, to find something for each of your companions to be able to give them for your birthday.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Side note. Does anyone else feel like this is Dave's version of Victor the Black Powder Vendor?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I did.
Sure.
That's exactly what I thought.
I have not gotten that far in Critical Role.
Oh no, Victor's Mav's best. Anyway.
He's my favorite NPC. I love him.
You'll have to watch the highlight reel. I'll link it to you
All right.
later.
All right.
Anyway.
So you are able to find everything that you want. Issel, you're watching. You said that you were kind of watching all this happen. The woman does turn to you, and noticing that you are rather tall and beautiful looking.
Hey,
Would you like anything, dear? Is this your child here? I don't think I've seen you around here before.
Tealia immediately switches moms.
That's exactly it.
No, she's just a dear friend. I was just waiting for her, and I knew that she has a number of things to shop for, and I wanted to keep it all a surprise.
Oh, you're friends with little children. Oh, okay. Well, very, very well. I harbor nothing. If you need anything, just let me know.
So wait, can I clarify something?
Yes.
What language are we speaking? Don't they speak a different language?
They do know Common. They do know
Okay.
Common. Yeah.
But what's the other language? I'm sure we're hearing other language being spoken.
So the other language that you're hearing is you've actually heard before when you were in New Rune, and it seems to be some strange dialect between Black speech and Elvish, kind of like mashed together.
So I
Sin-
could potentially
Sindarin,
recognize some
not
words?
Quenya. Yeah, you'd be able to pick up here and there, but the harsher, even the Elvish is harsher. It has that harsher guttural sound that comes from Black speech. But for the most part, unless in private, most people appear to be talking Western.
Didn't she hear that language back in New Rune?
Yeah. You guys heard it. And the
Oh,
only
okay, so
person,
I recognize.
yes, yeah, that's why you heard it back. The only person who was able to translate it was Raven, who actually spoke it at
Who
one point.
disappeared.
Oh yeah, where is she?
We're not worried about that.
Yep, helping her out, but she's gone.
I mean,
That was her choice.
kind
Um,
of worried about that. It's a little
I
bit.
feel like at some point it would come up between Odo and Dunbeorn, like while they're just
Yeah.
like chilling out and everything, and that would just come up as like, wait, what happened with Raven? Where is she?
That's a good point. Dunbeorn, last time I remember she was
Groping your
staring-
arm.
Well, there's that too, but at least staring at me while we're on the ship. It was a little weird. Not
Anyway,
sure
back
what
to
happened.
the rest of the group.
So Tealia is able to find anything. Issel, you kind of watch as all this happens. The woman takes her payment from you and kind of reaches again for your hair and says, "You have such pretty hair."
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
While they're in there doing that, what would I attempt for Farmon to just try to like mingle politely and maybe gather some information about this place from the people who are about?
If you want to gather information, it would be a riddle check. But otherwise, you can use any of your talking, what you would normally use for an encounter.
Could I would like to attempt a courtesy task.
Okay.
Propose a courtesy task to just find out some basic information about the town we are occupying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be good. Also,
Well-
Lostariel would like to shop as well. She would like some kind of head covering,
Okay.
which I assume is being utilized because it's a desert.
Yeah. They have a lot of things that you can wrap around. Their hats tend to be rather large.
I don't want a hat.
Yeah, then you're able to find a rather large, at a fabric place, a large spool of fabric that the saleswoman assures you is meant for wrapping around your head and keeping out the heat.
Well, I will take as much as I need for just one.
Okay. And what color is that in?
It is a dark brown.
Okay. All right. So, Farmon, what information do you want?
So what is the name of this place, and who is the ruler here, and what is the purpose of this town, and what are some interesting things about it?
Purpose of this town?
What's your social security number?
What is your town motto?
What's the town bird? Do you have an official?
You talk.
Tree?
You talk to the various people, and the answers you get from here and there from the conversations that you have is the town is named.
You're gonna have to put this in chat.
No problems.
Yep.
No, we're fine.
The town is named Bûrz. B-U-R-Z.
Are we fine, Nate? Are we fine?
Bûrz. B-U-R-Z.
B-U-R-Z?
Yep.
That's
with
it?
a little like
Bûrz.
whoop whoop above the U.
B-U-R-Z. So Bûrz.
Bûrz. There you go. It's called Bûrz.
So you need to put it in chat. Just spell it out for us, Dave.
I like Bûrz better, but
Bûrz. Fine. It's Bûrz. We're gonna go with what.
because the Z is pronounced on its own,
Yeah.
Bûrz.
Okay. So it is.
Shut up. I like it.
Okay. So you get the name. You find out that it is ruled by Kamul, and it is loyal to the capital city and whoever rules in its stead. You're also able to get through various things that they are actually part of the military force for them. So their town, while not being active, they do send their warriors off to battle when the need arises to invade Gondor or some other place like that. You also find out that mostly this is an outpost town. The people that live here do trading, but it's just a stop along the way to larger areas.
What's the bird?
The bird is the desert finch.
So wait, this place is actually like loyal to Kamul?
Yes.
Oh, the desert finch
Great.
exists.
Great. You just Googled that?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. Okay, so yeah, Farmon's like, yeah, cool, okay, and then in his head, it's like the alarm bells start going off slowly, and there's that rising. We're now at code orange. Now we're at code red.
Farmon is like internal screaming right now.
Yeah, just that internal screech of no.
Hang on,
roll-
I need to find a gift for that. Hang on.
Can you roll a insight check, Farmon?
I can. Will I? What am I doing?
Just waiting to see what your roll is.
I just put it in Discord so you guys can see.
Insight. So you're able to, from what you're able to gather from how they're talking about everything, they, unless they have reason to act, their military is probably not going to do something. So they are loyal to Kamul, but they act accordingly to law and his calling. So they're not just going to randomly go slaughtering people. Is kind of what you understand.
No, that's not what Farmon's afraid of. He's
no. But that's why I had you roll insight so you would see.
It's just one of those like, wow, I'm really glad we didn't introduce ourselves as
Rebels.
Well, as an envoy from
Cool.
Okay.
the rulers of the wilderness.
Yeah, and by the way, we killed Tealia here.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we smoked your boy.
So
The guy's sword hanging on my mantle.
while you're gathering that information, Issel finds a rather nice hat that she likes, and she purchased it from one of the hat vendors. Do you want to describe said hat, Issel?
Sure. It's just a simple little cap to try and keep me nice and cool, and I would like to buy one. I believe for Farmon, who I think it would be good to keep his head shaded and such. Also, a nice little bookstore sounds lovely.
Bookstore.
You look throughout the market, but there doesn't appear to be any bookstore or any place that sells books or anything like that.
Let's go. Don't trust this place.
It's on Issel's thumbs down list.
Okay.
She's
going.
she's gonna write a bad review on Yelp for it.
Do you go any further, or do you just kind of...
I just kind of start drifting around trying to find everybody, make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah. So, do you guys walk the whole entire street, or do you just stop at...
Stop at.
Like, do you just stop at the shops? I'm sorry.
How much more is there?
I mean, there's a gap of about 15, 20 feet before that stage-looking area.
Oh, I want to go see the stage for sure.
Okay.
I'm curious.
You walk over to the stage
I'm a little
and
scared.
roll awareness.
You got it.
All of us are just...
Those of you that are walking towards the stage, yep.
I'm having a trouble.
Yep.
Oh, I don't see anything.
I passed the first roll of the night, guys.
Yay!
Feels good.
Hey.
Go ahead.
All right.
So happy.
Farmon, are you going, or have you given up on trying to pass tests?
He's gone.
I'm
right?
sorry,
Oh.
I missed what we're rolling for.
Aware. If you're heading towards that stage-looking thing, I need you to roll an awareness check.
Oh yeah. I'll do it. I'll do the thing.
And we all just
What?
burst
You
into
should give
flames
up.
and die.
How does that attract Sauron? How? That seems unfair.
So you,
I have to agree with Quill on
There's
this.
do-gooders in my town.
So people are looking at us like tourists.
So, Issel and Tealia, you guys, the group walks forward, and you hear a sound coming from the left-hand side, and you kind of turn your eyes, and what you see appears to be a group of people huddled in what looks like cages. You're able to make out that they're basically dressed in rags. And Tealia, you actually see on their feet and hands the metal shackles that you saw in the Raiders' pouch.
But I don't see that, right?
No. You see the stage, and it looks pretty worn. It looks like there's a lot of foot traffic across it. There's like a small podium you notice off to the side where you can move.
Issel's gonna like covertly kind of nudge Lostariel and have her kind of look to the side and try and show her as slyly as possible.
Yeah.
Is this like this cage is kind of on display? Like, would it be really weird if we went over to look at it?
They're on the sides, and like there is a street going to it. Like the path does go over there, so hard to say.
Well, maybe we should send Tealia over, since she's stealthy, and I don't want to attract too much attention since we're already foreigners in this town. What do you think, Tealia? Would you like to have a look?
Sure, absolutely. I can give it a go.
All right.
16 on the stealth roll.
You stealthily make it over there, and what your eyes behold are 3 large cages packed with about 20 people between the 3 of them. Most of the cages are quite crowded, though one of them, the closest one to the stage, appears to be a little bit more empty. Most of the people in the cages appear to be between the ages of 8 and 23. There's one little boy that kind of like looks at you with big brown eyes. His shirt just completely rags. He looks malnourished. And you can actually see on his arm whip places. And as you look, you remember the woman reaching for your wrist and touching where there would have been scars had you been bound by the manacles.
Is there anyone on the stage?
It appears to be off hours. There's no one on the stage. There's no one near. These children and young adults appear to be forgotten. And there are food dishes in there. The best way to describe it, just large bowls that have slop inside of it. You see there's flies buzzing around some of them. Most of them appear empty, but there are some to where they just don't look interested in eating.
Let me give myself a shadow point for this. like I just know this is something that Tealia will now have to deal with for the rest of her life.
What?
You can actually roll for that shadow point. You just don't automatically get it. You can roll for it.
Okay.
And for those of you watching, this is because of anguish. This is when you see something absolutely dreadful, and it affects your spirit. And so you will get a shadow point for that.
Somehow my birthday activities seem a little less meaningful right now.
I rolled for a shadow point as well, just so you know, because I'm trying not to cry in real life right now.
You'll get one as well.
Y'all are crazy. I'm just watching with like steely eyes, waiting to see what Tealia does. Trying not to look too obvious. my headscarf has covered up my ears, so no one can tell I'm an elf now.
I go back.
Fighting something there.
Oh yeah, every ounce of my body just wants to hack those cages down.
I'm not even gonna talk to them.
You can. I will allow you to do a craft check if you want to see how well the cages are made.
Sure. Tell me about these cages, Dave.
What did you get?
15. Not particularly well, but succeeded.
They're well-made cages, but the lock is not very well made. Probably a couple swift hits with a sword would break them. It leads you to believe that no one has because no one desires to. But they could definitely be broken by swords.
Today, that's going to change.
Where will they go?
You could. Issel knows some lore about Rune, so.
What do I know? Where can we take them?
From what you know, from the bits and pieces you've read in Tealia's book, there are places where they would be safe. More than likely, they are not far from home. Like, while they have been taken to be sold, they can. They probably would be able to make it to someplace safely, like the woods. There are other villages in this general area that would not necessarily report them. Obviously, children being taken, families would not report them once they made it home.
So if they liberate them, would they just be able to just leave or sneak out?
Seems unlikely.
Yeah, you could plan something.
We wouldn't be able to have the guard with us either to finish getting us to the elves.
Yeah, it's daytime right now, so they wouldn't be able to make it. But
you know what? This is something that we've got to do at night, and you need to get us involved because we could definitely create a distraction or break these cages open as too. Andrew, you're muted.
Hi guys, I'm muted because I'm coughing a whole lot, but I don't normally do this. I turn to the elves and go, no matter what we do, we can't tell Dunbeorn about this. Joking.
Yeah, thanks.
But I go back and I go, yeah, it's what you think they are.
What are we going to do about it?
We can't do anything. Farmon's gripping the pommel of the sword at his belt so tightly that his knuckles are white, and his brow is set, but his expression is one of resolution as he says, again, we can do nothing about this. And then he turns and walks off.
Lostariel looks at his own and says, do you feel the same?
I want to do something more than anything because this isn't the life that they deserve to have. I feel like something must be done, but I don't know how to go about it. I know we could get them out, but I know there's lands free. It's just our mission is also quite important as well.
It's true. Tealia?
Tealia's going to take out the doll that she has. If's doll.
Oh, fuck.
Well, came here because of this, right?
Yes.
So, what's the point of stopping some wraith if this still happens? You know?
So it doesn't happen indefinitely.
What's happening now?
Not quite an argument, but I am with you. I think we should do something. But it will complicate our mission.
I mean, it wasn't simple to start with.
True, and I wish I knew what kind of elves these ones that live in the forest are, because it's possible we could take them with us if we knew where we were going. Perhaps we could find out what direction we're going in before we make any moves.
Well, when we get to wherever those elves are, I know there will at least be 2 good elves there, so maybe that will be enough.
Perhaps. Should we,
2.5 elves. Really.
You're more than a half. You're a whole shelf. Do you think we should take this to the Bjornings? Obviously, Farmon is hopeless, but perhaps Dunbeorn and Odo might have a different perspective.
Or
Because otherwise, we're
a
just going to
plan.
show up with a bunch of kids.
Would be a very interesting conversation to start, at least.
I think perhaps we should go back to the house and talk it over with them. We can
I mean,
still
I've
take
done worse
action.
on shopping sprees. Yeah.
I don't want to know. But so yeah, I think we want to return to the guest house.
Okay. You guys make your way back, but the hauntingness of the image that you saw at the end of the stage doesn't leave you. You walk in, before Odo, as you walk your way back, Odo's doing something.
Now, this house, is this a single story? Is there...
Yes, it's single story.
Okay, is there like a place outside of it that one might sit and pass the evening or something like that?
There's the road that leads into the
like
town.
any chairs outside or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, think about it. It's kind of like the biblical houses, the gatehouses where the guest of honor would stay right at the gate. That's kind of how it is. So
okay, Odo,
nothing really out there.
Odo would take a chair out from inside to outside, and he'll be putting up kind of against the side of the building outside as he just kind of sitting out there and kind of watching and thinking about everything going on, and to himself as he's kind of sitting there and pondering things and thinking about the events of the last several days. He'll just start singing to himself, and he'll go, "The moon shines, the owls sing, Bjorn roams by the stream. The shield maiden strong, the warrior fair, the scent of bears in the air." He's just kind of sitting there thinking about everything and why he's out here.
And
He's not singing really
Dunbeorn,
loud, just a little quiet.
yeah, and Dunbeorn is kind of like out with him as well. He's taken his cloak off. He's kind of got like the his hair is like the Jon Snow hair from like season 7, where he's got like pulled back with a little ponytail at the back. And he's kind of like supporting Odo's song by just like little hums.
Done. Home. That's why we're here, is it not? Home.
Yeah.
And just kind of staring out. Not really staring at anything particular, but just kind of staring out in front. Just thinking.
Do we see the others coming towards us?
As you're lost in your thoughts, you see first Farmon walking back, white knuckle grip on the sword that you notice he started wearing since you last met up with him. As well, behind him, a little ways, the rest of your group arrives, and they all have solemn expressions on their faces.
What happened?
Farmon raises his eyes from the ground and looks at Dunn hard. He's not mad at Dunn. He's just been thinking, and he says, "We found something," and shakes his head. And I learned that he looks either side. Well, we should save this for inside, and he'll walk inside the building.
Very well.
Okay. The rest of the group shortly after comes. I'm assuming you guys enter into the room. You see what there was before. There's more than enough chairs for you guys to sit. The table will be kind of cramped as the Bjornings, not only height-wise, but they have pretty broad shoulders, having fought for most of their lives. It will be kind of cramped, but other than that, you guys would all be able to fit comfortably in the living room area.
All right. So, what is it that you found?
Kids in cages. Yeah.
They looked so sick and so hungry.
Kids in cages.
We found their slave market. And while we were in the market, I asked around.
What did you find out?
This city is an outpost for Camus's military.
When Farmon mentions that, Dunbeorn just takes his fist and just kind of like slams them on the table.
A choice lays before us. One I already know Farmon's feelings on. But the rest of us feel some discomfort in leaving the children unaided. But we wish to see what your feelings on the matter are.
I say we let them out. This isn't right.
And where will they go? I thought to perhaps take them with us to the elves, but we don't know what the elves' reception will be to us or them. It's a risk.
I've been worrying about our safety encountering the elves of this land.
Right.
I don't think it would be wise to bring a score of starving children and drop them on the doorstep of a people we can't even assume will welcome us.
How
It
far
would be
into
no-
the city are these as the slave markets?
How far?
How far in the city? Yes.
Would it be towards the center, Dave?
Yeah, I mean it's towards the foot of the hill. So like half the city, like more like a quarter of the city. So it's about a quarter of the city in.
It's past all the shops near a stage where I assume they'd be auctioned off.
Well, I see a couple things here. I mean, we have the one of letting this horrible thing continue. You have the other thing of if we're able to save them and break them free with dealing with the city and its guards and its military here, and then the after fact of what do we do with the kids? Where do they go? Who's going to accept them? It's a hard decision, I'm sure.
I know that it makes things a lot more complicated, but I can't let this slide. Okay? Did you know that they did the same thing to our kind in the past? I don't want that.
Well, then, what do you propose as a solution?
I mean, I can go and talk to them. I mean, maybe they know where to go.
Yes, I thought perhaps you might have done that earlier. But perhaps they could return to their homes, but it is a large desert, and I think we're quite far away from other cities. But also the slave trade exists throughout the realm, I would presume, so if they fall into the wrong hands, they'll just be put right back into a cage. But yes, talking to them is certainly not a bad option.
I would like to go with you. If some are sick, I could try and help make them feel at least a little bit better. Especially if they're really not feeling good. Maybe I could grab a little bit of food, because the bowls that they were eating out of clearly wasn't enough.
Issel, take some of these, and he'll give you some pieces of honey
cakes.
Honey cakes.
Thank you very much, Odo.
It's nothing.
I'm sure I have a few provisions that I can also scrounge up for them. I'll go with you in the night.
Cover of night is going to be a lot easier for us to do this. So yes.
Well, perhaps you two should go first to speak with them and then return, and we can decide what to do.
Yes, they might go inside during the night or be taken someplace else.
Well,
Yes.
So we need to find out if they do have a place to go, because we need to figure out the second half before we do this.
I agree. So what time is it right now?
Right now it would be about supper time.
Okay, so not too far from dark.
Yeah.
Oh. Tealia and Issel?
You ready to go, daughter? Because apparently calling you my friend is just creepy.
You're muted again.
Yes. Yep. Oops.
Just remind me next time that I don't want to come off as a creeper and I would rather just be your mother.
Of course. At any time you want, I'll let you know when you're being creepy.
Okay, so the two of you set off the way that you had just come, and you arrive back at the cages. And as you enter into the marketplace, no one really seems to pay any mind to the stage that's there, or to the people that are in the cages. The area is pretty much abandoned in the sense of people are going about their business and just leaving it alone. You come up to it and you see again the same people, and they don't really seem to be interested whatsoever in you. They just are kind of huddled up together the best that they can.
Hello, little ones.
One of the boys in the first cages kind of like turns his head and he looks at you, and you can tell that there's skepticism in his eye. The two of you roll for an encounter. Roll a lore or insight check.
Lore?
Lore or insight. Yep.
Both pretty good rolls.
15.
Okay. Issel, you get 2 extra dice that you can use at any point during this encounter. Andrew, as well, you get 2 extra dice. What you can see is most likely persuade and courtesy are going to work best on whoever it is that you talk to. Awe is going to terrify them. You just get the sense that if you were to try and intimidate them or show your power, they are going to take that and understand that as anyone else who they've encountered so far kind of being rough with them. They do appear to have be mistrustful, so their tolerance is set at 3.
That means if they fail 3 times, then that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's courtesy and what was it?
Courtesy and
Persuade.
persuasion.
Persuade.
Yeah, persuade. And as always, you can use riddle to try and understand bits and pieces that they're sharing without sharing something yourself. So the one boy looks at you, and he appears to be a little bit older. He's one of the last few in that first cage, and he looks at you and he's like, "What do you want?"
Excellent. Where are you from?
From down near the river. You? And as he asks that, he looks at your wrists and notices that they don't have any marks on them.
Well, I'm from near a river, but it's a long way away.
Yeah, I'd like to be a long way away too.
I hate you so much, Dave. You are literally the worst person in this world. I'm gonna go
Sorry.
to sleep crying tonight.
I'm sorry.
What's your name, dear?
I haven't been called by my name in a while, but I used to be called Herut. Heorot.
If we bring you back to where you were, can you stay there?
I don't reckon why I wouldn't be able to.
And how far away is this place?
You notice, like, as you ask that, his eyes kind of like stare off, and a bit away, about 4 or 5 days.
I see. Where I come from, people don't do this to other people, you know.
Well, where you come from sounds like a nice place.
Are you all from the same area?
We come from a lot of different areas, but for the most part, we're from the same general, all along the river.
I'm going to look over to Issel. Like, are we doing this? Like, no.
If we don't do it as a group, I have to do it alone.
Well, I don't think we should split up the party.
It's never a good idea, but I can't leave them.
Hashtag don't split the party.
Hashtag don't hurt the children.
And that one too. That's the 2 hashtags for tonight.
I don't even remember why we have to see the elves anyway. It seems so small and silly when we have such horrible things right in front of us.
Right. Small acts of kindness and whatnot. Okay. You have the food, right?
Yes, and I break it apart and I make sure that they all have a little bit, and I look to them at all as a whole. And is anybody hurt? Is anybody hurting? Is there anything I could help? Any cuts? Any?
We're all hurting.
Why do you have to say that, Dave? Is there any physical pains that I could help heal?
He like starts shoving the honey cake that you gave him into his mouth and chewing it, and his eyes just go wide, and he's like, no, we'll be fine. We look after our own.
Well, if it was up to me, you wouldn't have to look after your own for very much longer.
And it's up to us.
And it is.
He just kind of nods and keeps eating. And to his surprise, his hand's empty, and he just kind of like...
Well, with us, I'm sure there's plenty more where that came from, I promise you.
He nods eagerly.
I kind of look over and like, we need to buy a lot more food.
We'll start shopping now.
Hey, okay.
We're gonna find a market.
It's right, closing hours, but we're gonna be like that person who walks in, 5 minutes before closing.
Yup.
Oh God.
We are those people.
You guys are
But,
the worst. Not
hey,
me.
wait. It's for a good cause, though.
It's true. It's true.
But we're going to buy a lot of food.
Okay, so you guys
Yes.
go to you guys are gonna go to a market that is nearby.
Yes.
We don't have enough horses.
There's more than enough markets for you to be able to pick up things like fruits, dried meats, cheeses, breads. Though as you start to purchase them, they kind of look at the two of you, thinking it's strange that you guys are buying this much food, but they don't say anything about it.
It's for a soiree
Next
later
week
on.
we're just going to be on the run.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Okay. So we go and do that.
Okay. You guys are able to get everything that you need. You carry it back, arms kind of full, with all the different provisions you picked up to the house where you are staying.
All right, guys, we're back.
Can we hide these somewhere?
That's a great
so we're not just,
idea.
wandering into the guest house with
My
50
dress just gets a
Lunchables or
little bit fuller.
What did you
Actually,
find out?
that's an interesting question. How many are there?
20.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
20. Would they be able to fit in this guest house temporarily?
It's quite possible, but the guest house is next to the barracks.
Yeah, that seems dicey.
Okay. So yeah, forget about that. I was just thinking that if we could just like rendezvous there and then just take off without being seen. But if it's close to the barracks, then forget about it. No.
Yeah, the barracks is literally right next to it.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Have they come back to tell us what they've done yet?
Yeah, they just came in.
Yeah, they just came in.
Dave, I don't know what you're.
We're back.
What did you find out?
They're from kind of around here. Less than a week away.
All of them from the same place.
The one person we talked to, which I think is a pretty good sample size now that I'm thinking about it in retrospect.
She did say that they were all from along the river.
Yeah, the same general area.
Same general area.
Remember that time we had a barge?
Yeah.
Would have come in handy.
We do have a ship.
But I'm worried about getting
We're a bit
back
far. Yeah. It's a bit far and it's a bit broken.
I think it's actually the same distance between here from the ship versus here from. Yeah, I think we took like what, 4 or 5 days?
7 days either way.
Okay,
All
so.
And then let's take the kids and go back to the ship. That's how I feel. We'll get to the elves eventually. It wasn't even our original destination, was it? Weren't we trying to go see the dwarves?
What I'm kind of worried about, though, is that if we take them in that direction, are we going to encounter any more of these Easterlings who are going to probably, because they found us. They found us while we were going up the river.
That's exactly what I was worried about.
It's true, but won't be a little bit more defensible in the ship?
That is true. We can probably. We can. Oh no, I don't think they have.
Have what?
I don't think that they've taken the ship.
Not to our knowledge. I mean, they came with us here, so.
The ship is still pulled up on the shore.
Yeah,
It's unrepaired.
It's on shore, and the
According to
captain
some
gave
sources.
the captain gave orders for the one to watch both ships.
And our crew is still on there.
Yeah, our crew is still on that ship.
Your crew is still on there.
So
But wait,
They're so reliable.
But wait, when you say both ship, you're talking about the one that Farmon got and the other one, the Easterling ship?
Yeah, the captain left and said to keep watch. So the 2 Easterlings and the 4 goblinoid humans are still on that ship.
Damn.
Well,
It's a better ratio than before.
Honestly, after their performance fighting that that creature we saw in the desert, I'm not worried about fighting these people anymore.
What do you mean? They did great. They hit it twice.
Well, look, we could potentially sneak those children onto the ship, keep them below deck so that they're not seen.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And then just sail downriver and deliver them back to their people.
You know what? I think that might be a good plan.
All right.
It occurs to me that if we carry out this plan of yours, we will likely have no more opportunities to be inside the walls of this outpost again.
Is it? Look,
Probably.
This place belongs to Kamul anyway.
I think he has something up his sleeve.
And the shopkeepers here are weird.
I wonder.
Yes, they are.
I wonder if there are any steps we can take to disrupt his operation here while we have the chance.
Create a little chaos.
I mean, what we could do, we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We could just, light the barracks on fire, and that'll get everyone's attention.
It seems pretty shadow pointy.
Oh yeah,
For lack of a better term.
I am
Roll
so
for
We
sorry.
had to talk about this before.
Yeah, we did this exact same thing.
I'm
before,
so
right?
sorry. I
It was
forgot. I
actually
also
a
forgot.
barracks too.
And
I
it
mean-
was Farmon's idea.
I mean, we're here
if
on
we
what
just
is essentially a
destroyed-
military mission, right? I mean,
Yeah, but who knows how, like... I mean, these people perhaps are not consenting to this. It's just...
So-
their
so,
lot in life. It doesn't
like,
mean that they
if
deserve to be
you're
burned alive.
Okay, why don't we figure out a different-
We target infrastructure.
Why don't we figure out a different kind of distraction? If needed, I can, become a bear and just run around in circles trying to get everyone's attention, and then just kind of like
I
run
have
away.
no problem with destroying the barracks if people aren't in it, because if we destroyed their supplies, then we would destroy their means to war. But it doesn't sit well with me to just wantonly kill dozens of people who might not have a choice in what they do in their lives.
Just remember this too. If we do whatever we do here in this city, no doubt this will affect us traveling throughout the rest of their lands as we come back. And
Also-
most likely we probably wouldn't be greeted, more like attacked and attempted waylaid.
To be honest, that's going to happen to us anyway.
We need more time. They plan on taking us in the morning and showing us on our way, but we need more time to find out what's here to be disrupted.
We don't have that luxury. Okay? These children could be gone by tomorrow.
I agree. What if we set all their horses free?
That's what I was thinking.
Because
If we
that
set-
would make it difficult for them to do anything, really.
And then
it
they
might
wouldn't
lead
be
them-
able to follow
Ah!
us either.
In fact, we could use the horses to transport the children.
We could send them off, maybe they could create some false trails for them to follow.
Yes, if some of them scattered.
Do we know where their stables are?
Right next to the barracks.
Yes.
I established that because I put my horses there. I don't know what you guys did with your horses.
Well, this sounds a bit better than the other plans I've heard so far tonight.
If we could hit an armory of any kind at the same time, that would make this
I don't know about
make
that.
this
I
worth it.
assume it would be in the barracks, right?
That's why I say we need more time to figure this
I
stuff
know
out.
we have plenty of time. We can. It's right next door.
I mean, I'm always a fan of a bear with an axe attacking the bear axe.
All right. Also, Tealia, you are very sneaky,
I am.
so she could do some of that if we need it. I keep volunteering her for stuff. I'm sorry.
Well, she does have an invisible bracelet.
Right.
Tealia, you have proven quite capable at this sort of intelligence gathering in the past.
Besides from that one time
Wait.
where I drowned.
She has an invisible bracelet?
Well, the bracelet's not invisible.
No.
I
Unless
just
it's
called
invisible.
it that. I'm sorry.
So tell me more about this bracelet. It's the one that I looked at before, is it?
Yes.
So
Yeah, we established that it's been decursed. So
Uh-huh. Well, no one else told me anything more about the bracelet. It's the first time I ever heard of it. Go
I can go invisible.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it also really made me like shopping. So, I mean, that's like, it's double the coolness, really.
Truly.
So, bringing it back.
So, what's the plan? Do we set free the horses, create the distraction, and then we liberate the children?
Well, I think we need to be a bit more coordinated if we're going to use the horses as transport for the children, because otherwise it's going to take us a lot longer to get across the desert.
That is
Assuming
true.
they can ride.
They will ride.
Yeah, tie them down.
Perhaps
They're not all like infants. He said up to age 23, which is strangely specific.
8 to 23.
Oddly specific, Dave.
But if they haven't ridden before, they're going to have some trouble getting going fast out.
Well,
are there any wagons that we can use?
Well, I don't see why this has to be like something large and attention getting. What if we could be sneaky about it?
We could. There's a strange beeping sound. What is that?
It's just a bug, a desert bug.
They're very active in the night.
Is there a bird around? Perhaps a desert finch?
You look around, and there actually are some birds up on the wall.
Okay. I can talk to birds.
Okay.
Tealia can talk to birds.
Side note. Okay, I'm going to. I'm not actually sure how flavor-wise talking to birds sounds.
You just scream.
Yeah. Birds! Hello, compatriots.
1 second, I need to find the gift.
One of the birds kind of like flies over and is like,
can I give the bird a little bit of the food we got? Do you know how many horses there are?
it kind of like looks at you, and you can guess yes. It's saying yes.
How many horses are there?
It like leans forward and kind of like pecks like.
How's it doing?
Only 8?
It's doing it like this. Yeah, there's about 8. There's about 8 horses.
That's it? I don't.
Well, the 4 of them rode away. Like the men that had escorted you in. So 8 plus 4.
Well, we're not gonna worry about that, I guess.
I could always ride with more on my... Oh, I don't know this. Never mind. Just kidding.
I give the bird a little bit more of the food.
Where did you get the ability to talk to birds?
First fellowship phase.
Where did you... But how...
How? They sell the books at Barnes & Noble. Just bird speech for dummies.
She studied with Rohir.
Yeah. Thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome. I got your back.
Okay.
Wow.
What, did you guys see my GIF?
Yes. Sorry, you posted a ridiculous GIF in Discord. Okay. So,
so what are we gonna do? Yeah, let's.
Well, am I understanding this right? That however we get the kids out of here and we get out safe and that all works out just fine, that's our intentions to go to the ships and fight off the other people guarding it? Is that what I'm hearing, or?
I think so.
Unless we could just sneak them into the ship.
It would be very difficult for the ship to sail away as sneaky as we get in it.
And it hasn't been repaired yet.
Surely. No, surely they would have had enough time to repair that ship. I mean...
Whatever they haven't completed, I could also go down and help them finish the repairs.
I think our key to key to our success here is going to be getting rid of all their horses so that they can't pursue us.
So we have to find the other 4, is what you're saying.
The other what?
The other 4 that aren't in the stables.
Well,
And who knows where they've gone off.
what are 4? If 4 of their men catch up to us, so be it.
All right.
I doubt 4 alone would give chase after our performance in the desert the other day.
Besides, we're probably going to be walking anyways. We're going to be using the horses to move all the food.
And to carry some of the children who might be tired.
Dave, I assume the gate that we're right next to is shut at night, correct?
It's not so much a gate as like just a couple of like it's almost like a door. It's not really a gate. Like it's a couple of logs that it looks like they just kind of like they're tethered together almost like a ladder rope, and they just let them down, and then it looks like they pull them up. It's kind of a strange contraption.
And guarded? Do we know how many guards are on?
Like, can we see that from just looking out the window?
You could go and look in the barracks. So far you've only seen the 2 guards on the top.
Okay, we need to find out how many guards we're dealing with. If we can get the gate open and free the slaves, bring them here, set the horses free, take our horses and enough to carry the prisoners, and head off on our way, I think we'll be in the clear, and that would.
I think that's the best plan that we can come up with.
With your plan decided upon, you will take the next necessary steps, but we will end it here for tonight.
Sounds good.
And so, thank you everyone for watching.
God,
please let other people know. Like I said, our goal is 50 followers by the end of March, and we will be streaming again Wednesday next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and join us with Nate at 6 Eastern Standard Time, where we will be talking during Into the Frying Pan about last week and this week's show. So thank you guys, and have a great rest of the week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching.
bye.
Andrew, meanwhile, he doesn't know we ended.
Yeah.
We stopped, Andrew. Oh, yeah, here.